Hi everyone, it's Lucy and welcome to my channel. So the new year often means a fresh start and a new chance at giving yourself some new goals and finally doing what you've always wanted to do. But the problem is that more often than not, these goals just don't get achieved. You may try for a few days, a few weeks, and then life goes on and you completely forget about them and you push them back to the next year. Why is that? It's because really often the goals are just unachievable and unrealistic. So it's really hard to continue working towards a goal that you know you won't achieve. And it's really hard to keep pushing through when after weeks of dedication you're not seeing any results. But if you're able to set the right goals and have the right expectations for yourself, then this can all change. So the main way to crush your weight loss and health goals this year is to really find your why. It's really hard to lose weight or to get healthy if you don't really know why you're doing it. Just telling yourself that you want to lose a little weight isn't going to be enough when things get a little bit hard. You really have to keep pushing forward and try to find many reasons to achieve that goal. For example, a lot of people say they want to lose weight to be healthy. That's great, but it's really too vague. You need to really try and go deeper. Why do you want to be healthy? Is it because you want to be a good example for your kids? Yeah, but why? Is it because you don't want your kids to struggle and go through what you are going through? Is it because you want to give them healthy habits like right from the start? Or is it just for yourself to feel better? You really have to get deeper into the reasons. And then I really suggest writing all of the reasons down. Whenever you find a new reason why you want to get healthy and lose weight, write it down and try to go even further. Try to push and see what is really behind this reason. And then make a list that you can refer to anytime things get hard. I know some people are very visual, so if it helps you, you can make sort of a health and weight loss vision board and kind of find pictures that represents the reasons that are motivating you to do this. Another thing you can do is to write down all of the negative emotions and feelings that you're feeling right now because you aren't healthy, you aren't the weight you want, and you just feel bad in your skin. Write down the way that makes you feel so that when you start losing motivation or that things get hard, you can go back to that list and you can see all of the reasons that are pushing you or should be pushing you to continue to work towards your goal. And you can tell yourself, like, these are all the feelings and emotions that I really don't want to deal with. I don't want to put myself through this. I have to keep pushing forward. And know that if you stop, you'll go right back to feeling all the ways you felt when you started. So another thing I suggest doing is setting a SMART goal. So that means that it should be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. I won't go into detail about all of these things in the video because it's a little bit long, but don't forget to check out my article that talks about this in more detail if you're interested. What I also suggest is starting small and starting with one thing at a time. If you start off the new year by telling yourself that you are going to eat salad every day, exercise every day, go to bed at 9 o'clock every day, of course it's not going to last. You're asking way too much of yourself and you're changing way too many of your habits at once. What I've found to really work when you want to set sustainable goals is to focus on one small thing and then build upon it. You do one little thing and then when you get good at it and it becomes kind of normal and a habit, you kind of either move on to the next or make that thing even bigger. So what I really suggest that you do right now is to find one little thing that you do that's unhealthy and stop it gradually. So for example, if you drink soda every day, instead of completely banning soda, which would be great of course, but it's just not achievable and not realistic, you can start by having soda every other day. So tell yourself, okay, this day I'm just not gonna be having soda, I'm gonna have sparkling water instead, and tomorrow I can have my soda. And do that for a week, 2 weeks, as long as it takes for you to get in the habit of it. And that's not too hard. That you can really do because, you know, if you're craving soda, say on Tuesday, and it's your off soda day, just tell yourself, I'm just gonna have soda tomorrow. And your brain can live with that, it's fine. But if you tell yourself, oh, I'm having soda in 2 months, that's a little bit harder. So really try to set small goals. And then after a few weeks of this working out, you can tell yourself, okay, I'm only going to have soda on the weekends. and then once that's fine, you can completely ban it from your house and only have it on special occasions. But this needs to be very gradual. Take it one step at a time and do it at your own pace. If you tell yourself that you're going to go a full week without soda and you're used to having it every day, you're probably going to give in a little bit quicker, and then you're going to tell yourself that you can't do this, that it's too hard, that you're unsuccessful, and then you're just going to quit altogether. So once you have that little thing mastered, you can move on to the next thing. Try to incorporate just one piece of fruit or one vegetable to your meal, or try to do just 10 minutes of jump rope every week, or go to bed just 10 minutes earlier each night. There are little things that you can do, but that will really make a difference in the long term. And I'll also give you some more ideas later on. But at first, it may not seem like much, but that's exactly why you can do it, because it's not much. And then it will add up and it will boost your confidence, and you'll tell yourself, oh, I can do this, it's not that hard. And then you'll continue on moving forward and going further down your goal. One thing that you really need to keep in mind is that it's going to be uncomfortable. Whenever you make changes to your habits or to your routine, and these changes aren't really fun, it's going to be uncomfortable. I've talked with people that tell me that they want to lose weight, but then 2 days later they say, oh, it's too hard. But it's normal. Of course it's going to be hard. Tell yourself that if it was easy, everybody would be super healthy, everybody would be their dream weight, everybody would be exercising all the time. You know, the reason why it's hard makes it also worth it to work towards this goal. Of course, you're going to have times when you want to give up. That's normal, but you just have to keep pushing through. And this is why it's really important to have some strong why reasons to work towards your goal. I really think that this is the single most important thing. If you really, really want something bad enough, and if you have all your reasons written down, and if you can go back to them anytime things get hard, I really think that you can push through all the difficult times. So now that you're ready to set some strong weight loss goals, here are some little health tips that you can start with. So I'm going to give you just a few ideas, and you can start by trying one of them, and then you can also, of course, think about your own ideas, and then you do that for a few weeks, a few months, until that thing is mastered, and then you can move on to the next thing, and you're going to be so healthy in 2021. So the first thing I would suggest doing is reducing your alcohol consumption. So alcohol has so many calories, you don't even realize it. You're just drinking your calories. And also, when you're under the influence of alcohol, you can be more prone to overeating. You're not really going to control yourself as much around food, and you're not really going to be in tune with your hunger cues. So if you're used to drinking like a glass of alcohol each day, do the same thing as the soda. Only go for once every 2 days. And if you're used to drinking alcohol only on the weekends, but then you go all in, try to really measure your portions. Limit yourself to a certain number of glasses. And then every weekend or every other weekend, try to go a little bit down on that number of glasses. And also drink lots of water in between your drinks of alcohol. Another thing you need to do for 2020 is to be more active. Of course, I'm not going to be the one to tell you how important physical activity is for your health. So if you love going to the gym, or if there's some sport that you play that you really enjoy, that's amazing. Try to make your trainings last like 5 minutes longer or 10 minutes longer, and then gradually it can be a little bit longer every time, so that by the end of the year you're getting in like sessions that are much longer. You have to keep pushing yourself. You have to really always strive for more and always want to do better. And of course, if you don't like those things, that's fine too. There's so many things to do. You can try dancing, yoga, swimming, rock climbing, jumping on the trampoline, jumping rope, riding a bike, just walking around your neighborhood. There's so much you can do. And if you really can't find anything that sounds good to you, then you can still do some physical activity right inside your house or around your house. You can look up some videos on YouTube or search on the internet for videos teaching you how to do certain physical activities. You can do yoga at home, you can do push-ups and abs and anything at home really. If you're used to doing nothing, just do that 15 minutes a week. You know, tell yourself 15 minutes is nothing. I can totally fit that into my schedule. And then you'll see that you'll start to gradually even need and want more. And if you don't, just force yourself in the beginning. So for a few weeks, only do 15 minutes. And then the weeks after that, you can do 2 sessions of 15 minutes. And then you can do sessions of 20 minutes and gradually keep on building upon that. Another thing I would recommend is to limit eating out as much as possible. When you eat at a restaurant or if you have some fast food, the foods aren't going to be as healthy for you most of the time as home cooked meals would, and also, and more importantly, you're more likely to really overeat in those settings. So ask yourself how many times a week you eat out and try to reduce that number very slowly at first. So as a student, I would eat out for lunch all the time because I was too lazy to cook something, so I would just go out and buy a pizza or a sandwich or something, and of course it wasn't good for me. It wasn't giving me good nutrients and, you know, good energy. So one thing you can do for that is to bring some leftovers from your dinner of the past night. And if you don't have leftovers, then when you cook, or when the person who cooks in your family makes the meal, tell them to make it for like an extra person. Tell them to make an extra portion, and then right before you eat, take your portion for the next day and put it in your fridge. Try to do that for one meal in the week, and then you'll see how good it feels and how easier it is, and also you're going to save money. And then try to do that more and more during the week. Another thing you can work on is to spend more time outdoors, and this doesn't mean you have to do like physical activity outside. You just need to be outside. You can be reading outside, you can be sleeping outside, you can be just walking your dog, and of course there's so many other activities that you can do outside. Being outside has a lot of health benefits. Again, the sources for that are in my blog, but I really suggest you go outside more. Along with the soda thing, I would suggest that you stop or at least limit sugary drinks altogether. Fruit juice isn't as bad as soda, but it's pretty bad as well. So same thing as the soda, try to go down a little bit, only 1 glass every day, then 1 glass every 2 days, and then build from that. And the final thing I really suggest doing is to eat more whole foods. So many studies show how important whole foods are and how many benefits, health benefits, eating whole foods has. So really try to choose whole foods as much as possible. Again, start small. You can have fresh vegetables instead of canned ones. You can have fresh fruit instead of fruit juice or applesauce. Try to also get in some nice grains, beans, nuts, and things like that. The more room these take up in your diet, the less room you'll have for the super sugary, super processed, and super addicting other foods. And finally, the last thing I want to say is that you just have to start. I know, and I do this also. I just look at all the things that I should do. I watch videos, I get inspired, I write things down, but then I never actually start, and that's really the hardest part. You just have to start. Start right now. Like, don't say, oh, this day is almost over, I'm gonna wait for tomorrow, I'm gonna wait for Monday, I'm gonna wait for this, I'm gonna wait for that. Just start right now and really stick to it. It's going to be hard in the beginning. If you can get past the first few days or first few weeks, then it's going to get easier. Breaking a habit isn't easy, but you'll get used to it really quickly. So remember that the hardest thing is starting and committing to it in the beginning. But if you can get past that, then you're in for a life full of health and happiness. Okay, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe, and hopefully see you on my next video. Bye!